there's this lie that's going on that the world is catching up to the USA in basketball.
No way.
There are individual people catching up and that are good. Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, Luka. They're right. But depth-wise, it's not even close. Basically, every country has a Michael Jackson and a bunch of Tito's. And that's not the USA roster.
I told you we we're going to talk about the Olympics. Now, I love the Olympics when the Olympics come around every 4 years because, one, I love track and field. I love tennis. I love volleyball. And I get to watch the other sports. And I know you're going to laugh at me about this, but it's, what is it? Where they have the little ball and they just push it out there.
That is the best sport ever.
And it's like you get in front of it with the broom.
Yeah, you got to sweep. Yep.
My wife loves that. She's always like, Russell, I can do that. She's like, there's this so easy. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't even sweep here at the house. And she got so mad.
I would edit that part out of this.
It's an in-house joke. I apologize. It's just inside the house, playful banter with my wife.
But yeah, no, I love the Olympics. There are things that I just can't wait to watch. Like like you said, track and field. Yeah. There's obvious ones, basketball, baseball, whatever.
Do you really? I don't get too excited about the basketball. Only time I really notice them if the game's too close. Because you expect them to win. You kind of expect them to go out there and get gold.
Yeah, but okay, so there's this lie that's going on.
A lie.
That the world is catching up to the USA in basketball.
No way.
There are individual people that are catching up and that are good. Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, Luka. They're right. But depth-wise, it's not even close. No. It basically, every country has a Michael Jackson and a bunch of Tito's. and that's not the USA roster. No. The USA have guys. Yeah. So I love it when people go in there, and I know they got to sell the game and they got to make it sound interesting. Oh, the game is being caught up with the best player in the NBA is Greek Freak and Luka and Jokic, and they're doing something wrong in the USA. Okay, I tell you what, you take those three, and then I'll take the next 9. And then we'll give them the next 9 after that. Right. And we'll play and we'll see who win every game. Yeah. So, no, but I look forward to that. But the one thing that I do look forward to is diving and swimming.
Diving. You know what? Diving and swimming. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Swimming is great, dude.
The sprinter, not the long 1,800 meters, but like the 2 laps or 4 laps, whatever that is. Yeah. That's like sprinting in the pool, though. So I get you on that. I'm excited about that one, too. And gymnastics, obviously.
See, gymnastics I like, but I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't like sports with judges because they cheat. The judges cheat. There's a judge from a country that don't nobody like that's going to give someone like a bad score. So I don't like judging. I like events where there's a winner. Like in boxing, I like it when someone gets knocked out. Yeah. Because whenever they go to the judges, I don't know if you notice, going all the way back to Carbajal, they screw the U.S. fighters.
I've never watched boxing. I'm not a boxing fan. I don't know. And this is going to sound crazy coming from somebody who played football. It's just to me, it's just unnecessary violence. Like you just beating each other. I'm not a big boxing fan. When Mike Tyson was, I was young, and you're like, damn, he's just knocking people out left and right. But people always like the sport and
the sport of boxing, the art of boxing. That's why I don't like. Okay, I'll just say it. I'm not an MMA fan. Yeah, but I love boxing because there's a science to boxing.
I get you. Foot placement, how you.
Yeah.
And maybe I never learned it, so that's why I'm just kind of like baseball. If you don't really know the intricacies of the game, you're kind of like, dude, this is boring. It just looks like people smacking each other upside the head. So,
or you're just watching a White Sox game because they stink.
Gosh.
Hurt my heart with that. But and then there are certain people that I'm looking forward to. It'll be cool to watch Steph if they get that gold because he's never had one.
That's true.
So stuff like that, or a couple years ago, or 4 years ago, excuse me, when Ledecky was swimming. Yeah. And watching, there's just something about, and there's always someone that comes up.
Right. Yeah.
That
superstar.
hero. Yeah. Now, when you said track and field, I like short distances. Keep me under 400 meters. I don't want to watch someone.
I'll take the straightaway and the curve. That's it.
Man. I don't want to watch when they're like, they're the 4,000 meter. They're on lap 79. Dude, next. I'm just waiting for pickleball to become an Olympic sport.
Stop. Come on, man. Let's not waste airtime talking about pickleball. You like pickleball for real?
No, I love pickleball. The number one player on the women's side, she's the number one on the women's side, the number one on mixed doubles, and the number one on doubles. And her doubles partners is her mom.
And
she's 18, or she's like 16, 17, and she makes like $4 million a year.
I get it. There's money in it, but it doesn't mean that
it's fun. And for old dudes like me, who loves tennis, I can't run across that court anymore, but I sure can.
Yeah, because you don't have to go far. Table tennis, that's what you're doing. You're playing
with the wiffle ball.
Yes, that's exactly what you're doing. Playing ping pong
while you're standing on the table.
I watch it, and I guess because the age of the people when I first started noticing it, it was something to me that was more of a retirement sport, something just to keep you active. And then it became like all of a sudden it became so commercialized, and you're like, where the hell did this come from?
It's huge.
Pickleball. It's like, oh my God.
It's huge.
They got courts out there by the Cardinal Stadium.
Yep.
Like they got a whole like facility. And
out in Chandler, there's a gym. I'm not going to give them pub because they don't sponsor you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway.
But if you'd like to.
But they do basketball practice. Yeah. But during the day, they have pickleball. They're finding that it's harder to get the basketball practices in because everybody wants to play pickleball all day. And there's courts in Tempe. Again, I'm not throwing their name out. They play pickleball literally from 6 a.m. It's an indoor pickleball court from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. And if you don't make a reservation, you're not getting on.
Okay, see, now we got to go now. We got to play now.
We do. And not only do we have to play, listen, we got to play old people.
Oh, yeah, I assumed that was what we were going to do. Oh, well, I'm going to talk trash.
Yeah, they talk trash. And I'm talking about those names that aren't in style anymore, like Trixie and Dixie. They're the ones talking trash to you.
Old lady. Trixie. That is not a good, that's terrible. I should have said
the Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners.
Remember? Ralph Cramden.
Oh, yeah. To the moon, Alice.
Yes.
How old are you?
55.
Okay, see.
Double nickel.
Yeah.
You get a discount at the grocery store first Wednesday of every month.
Okay, so this might be a little off topic, but I have a friend who always makes fun of me. He goes, you get your AARP card yet? Because I was getting stuff in the mail, and I'm like, dude, what is this? And I brought it up one day. We were at the cigar lounge, and he was like, oh, AARP. He goes, you need to start getting that, man. They got some great discounts. He goes, but that's for the old folks, right? And I'm like, why the hell am I getting it? Because you're getting old.
Look, I was at my family laughed at me because we went to Jack in the Box. My eldest son, Paul Jr., is a fiend for milkshakes from Jack in the Box. So we roll up. It's me, my wife, both boys. Mm-hmm. And the boys got a milkshake. And when we got to the drive-through, I said, do you guys take senior discounts? And she said, yeah, we sure do. And they started laughing at me. I said, you can laugh at me all you want. I'm getting my discount. I am 55.
My pride wouldn't let me do that.
No, pride my foot.
Yeah.
Hey, grocery stores the first Wednesday every month, you get 20% off. You think I'm not there? I am there with a smile. 55 and older card. I double nickel everywhere I go.
Okay. So back to the Olympics. His old man pub.
Senior Olympics.
So, like, what are you looking forward to? Because for me, like I said, I'm looking forward to, first of all, and I know this is going to sound arrogant, I love when the Olympics come around because I just love the way we just go out there and dominate. I do. I'm sorry. Like,
so the medal count.
I love the medal count. Yeah, I love the gold and the silver, bronze. I'm like, okay. But I love when they show the medal count. It's like, we're kicking everybody's, you know what?
This is going to sound crazy, but you know what I really look for more than anything first? It's safety.
Safety?
I know that sounds weird, but with this world being so crazy,
the
first thing I think is I pray that everyone goes there and comes back safe and can enjoy it, have a good experience and be safe.
Wasn't it Atlanta where they had an attack?
It was they did the bomb, that blow up bomb. That was like 96, dude. Believe it or not.
A little old. We get old.
But that's the first thing. The second thing is I like to watch, like you said, the certain sports. Sometimes I would just watch a sport that I didn't even know was a sport.
Right. Something you've never even seen before.
And it's usually on at like 2 a.m. on like USA Channel 7.
Yeah.
Like the Ocho. And and it's just fun. But the Olympics it brings out that country pride that you
something that you want to see every day, that you would love to have that kind of unity every single day.
Yep, and it's just not there all the time.
Yeah.
But there are some competitions you watch and you're like, when it's track and field and the Jamaicans are running and then the US men are running, and then they'll say like, John Davies from Scandinavia. You'd be like, he ain't got no chance.
Yeah. We're looking for the American and the Jamaican.
Yeah. So, but it's cool. The Olympics are cool. Now I don't get into ceremonies.
Yeah.
So I don't care about the opening ceremony and the close. But I can't wait to watch. I'm not a soccer fan. But I watch the ladies.
I watch the women's. I watch women's soccer.
Because it's different.
And it's crazy because these young ladies that are playing now, like Dennis Rodman's daughter.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, Dennis Rodman's daughter. And so I would rather watch the women's soccer team in the Olympics than the men. Like I couldn't tell you much about the men's, but for some reason the women's just seem more exciting. I don't know why the draw.
Probably because they've won so much. Yeah. And even though you may not follow them all the way, you hear about the World Cup victories, you hear about the Olympic victories, that it sticks in your head, even though consciously, you're not going, oh, I remember this, remember that. Yeah. But subconsciously, every time we talk about them, it's talking about them winning.
Now, the other sport that I love is volleyball, and I think most men do. But I love the competitive nature when I'm watching those ladies play, and you watch them on the court and they're diving and they're just I think that's the main thing. And it's not even just women's sports or men's sports, just in general when you watch these athletes compete, because a lot of these athletes, this is their Super Bowl, their NBA championship, their Grand Slam. Like these are amateurs that throughout the rest of the season or rest of the time that they're training, they don't get the $1 million endorsement. So this is their opportunity to rise to the very top, and this is their championship. So you just see a level of play and competition that is just like, wow, like you're laying it all on the line because you have one opportunity, or obviously you have a small chance to make this happen.
Beach volleyball or indoor on court?
Indoor on court, yeah.
I love that beach.
I don't like the beach. I don't.
Yeah, I love that. Here's what's crazy. So my eldest, she went to She went to Basha. One of the girls she played volleyball with was actually in the Olympics.
Really?
The last Olympics as a beach volleyball player.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just scarred because when I was at Chapel Hill, and big shout out to Mad Dog, we had this big sand pit.
Okay.
And it was called Desert Storm. And we used to like run in it, do lunges and jumps. So if you've ever trained in sand, it's hard. And so when I see those, it's hard, man. Like if you've never trained in sand or just go running on the beach or something, it's just a different level of training. So when I watch those ladies out there or anybody who's in the sand, it's like, dude, I know their legs are killing them right there. I know they're so tired. I would rather watch the indoor. I mean, it's cooler indoors. I don't like that. I don't like being out there.
I just don't know how they dive, jump right back. And if you've watched it, and I'm sure you've seen them practice, they practice just diving and jumping up. Yeah. Diving, jumping up.
In the sand or just in general?
Both, in general. So if you ever go to a volleyball practice, they literally just practice diving and then jumping up because
teach you how to take a fall. Like you got to get out, get up.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they got to work on that stuff.
I've actually looked at them practice because they practice at the same courts that my team does, and I've looked at the guys and was like, y'all couldn't do that. Like, coach, we can.
No, you can't get over there.
They're in shape.
Yeah. No, I just do. I love, and when they're talking, and I love that energy. Like you get a girl that goes up and blocks a spike, or she spikes it on somebody, and it just gets me pumped up. I'm like, yeah, let's go, do it.
I call that the celebration sport because after every point, there's a celebration. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that? It's almost like in softball. After every time someone comes in, it's a big
to do. Yeah, they all stand around. They got their little dances.
Whereas in sports that we're used to, basketball, football, get back, make the next play.
Yeah. Well, basketball, those guys tend to celebrate a little bit.
But if you just hit a shot, it's like If you celebrate a jump shot, your coach looking at you like, if you don't get back on defense,
you don't get your
yeah, we gonna have an issue.
You don't have time, but in football you do have a little bit of time, especially if you get like a big play, like a sack.
Yeah,
you see guys get up and do a little something, but no, we don't. You have to be out there and you have to let everybody know I did that.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. Well, then in football it's wide receivers because those are the true divas anyway.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Between wide receivers and DBs, I don't know which one's worse.
I still say wide receivers because they'll give a first down and be down by 16 points.
Or DBs, the ball's underthrown or something, and then they'll run and do like.
Yeah, that cracks me up. It's like that was a bad pass.
It was a bad pass, and they run towards the cameras, and they'll run down the field like this. Like, I did that. You're like, dude, that was just a terrible throw or overthrow or something. They're like, I did that. Yeah, or this one right here. The one I saw a lot in college from the young men was this one. Like they're putting on a seatbelt, like they got them on lock. I got them on lock.
And what's funny is we do that in basketball, but we do this. We go, lock them up. Lock them up.
I don't know if I like that though with the handcuffs.
Lock them up. Lock and send no bail money.
Send no bail. When I first saw this, I'm like, what are guys? Are they pulling out a sword?
Yeah, the seatbelt.
And then I realized, I'm like, oh, seatbelt, lock them down.
And you call me old. You got to get with all the new stuff, like cap, no cap.
That's not old. I mean, that's not new, bro.
Cap,
come on, I know that. I know cap.
Yeah,
I know that. I use it on my kids when I talk to them. I'll say that. I'll be like, dude, no cap. And they be like, Dad, stop. Like, you're lame.
Dad, stop. You can't do that.
Now, I do have a question for you because there's a couple things. One has been driving me crazy since I heard it. And, since we're talking about the Olympics, and you obviously heard what Gilbert Arenas said.
That was the most ignorant crap I've ever heard in my life.
Absolute most disrespectful,
ignorant.
Most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life. I was so embarrassed when I read that and I saw what he said. I was like, you got to be kidding me, brother. Like, come on, man. What?
See, Paul Pierce, I give, even though it was dumb, I give him a little out because before the game, he was like, we are not losing to them. Yeah. We're not losing. Whenever they play somebody from a small country, it's like, come on, we're not losing.
Right.
What Gilbert Arenas did after the fact was just absolutely
disrespectful.
Ignorant. And then what makes it so bad is there's a couple dudes on that team. They're not currently in the NBA, but like Gabriel played with the Lakers. Yeah. And there's a couple kids on that team that are currently in college. Yeah. So they know how to play.
Yeah.
The way Gilbert Arenas and his okay, let me back this up if you don't mind.
No. Take your time.
Okay. The problem with sports right now is and you may have to edit this out, but every dumbass thinks that the best way to get noticed is to have a hot take.
Yes.
And before, the best part about sports is people would talk about sport, not in a boring way, because, pardon the interruption, it's been on for over 20 years. Yeah. And there's a back and forth, but they're still giving you respectful, quick rendition of what they believe happened.
Yeah.
Now you have all these idiots who think if I just make a hot take
and go viral,
and it'll go viral and I'll get more clicks. Yeah. Well, it does, but it's dumb because you're not really saying anything worth hearing.
It's nothing about the sport. It's nothing about the plays that they were running. Had nothing to do with any of that. No. Instead of, like, to me, I'm feeling like instead of disrespecting these people and disrespecting an entire country, you could have just been like, wow, they played amazing basketball. You build them up. For him to make, and I have to be careful because some of the things that I want to say.
The whole uniforms. They shouldn't have worn a color uniform. Yeah. And I just, but see, if you look on TV now, there are very few people, or listen to radio shows, there are very few people that just have good shows. And you don't have to agree with everything someone says for the show to be good because there can be logic behind what they say. Yeah. And I will give someone credit for this. Freddie Coleman on the 4-letter.
Okay.
He's been there
ESPN is the 4-letter, by the way.
He's been there for 20 years on radio. You don't do 20 years on radio because you say stupid crap all the time.
You're intelligent. You know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You don't have to agree.
Yeah.
But it's intelligent.
Yeah.
But then you get some of these idiots that just, they would rather have no backing, no logic, and just say something stupid.
Yeah.
And then let's say they're right. Okay. Then they'll come back 4 months and say, oh, I was on that 4 months ago. You and 9,000 other people. There's nothing that made you special by saying that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going wrong.
Yeah. See, I'm the type of person that I look at it like not everybody wants to hear my opinion. You know, I could be, we could talk sports, we could talk and discuss different things like when I have people on here. But I just think that level of ignorance is just like, I would not want to be the type of person that wants to start controversy in order to get people to come and check me out.
Well, that's the way, unfortunately, the world is. Right?
It is. It's because, like the stupider stuff you say, the better, the more clicks you get.
Yep.
You know, everybody's in your comment section. And I'm just like, for what he said, the disrespect, and then to even throw Joel Embiid in there. And he said, what did he say? Like Joel Embiid was trying to throw the games for his cousins.
Yeah.
That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Now, but then sometimes when stupid people say stupid things, remember the source that it came from. There's a reason his NBA career was cut short because he wasn't always thinking properly.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, the gun situation.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So what's the saying? Beep around and find out. So sometimes we think that people that have shown, we could even use our own kids.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure when you have 2 or 3 kids, this is for anybody out there with kids. Mm-hmm. You have one kid that you know is going to come home. When they change, the clothes end up in a dirty clothes hamper. When homework needs to be done, it's done. Yeah. When it's time to clean the room, it's clean.
Yeah.
Then you have a child where you can follow them.
Davis.
You can follow them. You know every room in the house they've been in just by what's left. Yep. You've got to remind them to do homework they got assigned. You got to remind them to clean their room.
Yeah.
Well, after a while, you just know who they are.
Yeah.
There comes a point where we just know who some of these people on air are, and we no longer expect an intelligent statement. We expect a hot take. And so sometimes I say, let me see what dumb crap they said.
And that's the bad thing because we tune in.
Yeah.
Because we tune in and we watch it and we listen to it. You hear, because you're like, there's no way somebody says something that idiotic.
But
and
you have to
read it and you're like, he really said it.
But you have to, because in what we do, it gets brought up.
Yeah.
So you have to sometimes.
You have to be aware.
Because if someone says, hey, did you hear about that? And you're like, no, you can't. You've got it. You've got to.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're forced to listen to dumb crap because it's what you do.
Yeah, but I just remember when I heard that, and I'm not a huge fan of what I guess let me go back. When I say I'm not a fan, I mean I'm not a fan of a lot of the language that they use.
Okay.
You know, I'm fine with a few words here and there, dropping some, you know, damn or, you know, basic words.
Oh, no, they're hardcore curse.
Yeah, they're hardcore. And then some of the slang, we'll just put it as slang that they use. You're like, you know, man, can you not talk to another fellow human being without talking like that or using those words? You know, it's just.
Here's what's crazy. I don't even think about that anymore.
Like, see, you become dumb to it. Like, you don't even notice it.
I don't even think about it.
See, it still bothers me because I just think it's something that we need to move on from, but it just, you're constantly using the word. It's constantly coming up. So
that's because it's become normalized.
Yeah.
When something becomes normalized, it no longer has the same impact.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember from just TV in the 80s. Mm-hmm. When or 70s, when Florida dropped that dish and said, damn, everybody remembers that because no one really said it.
Yeah.
Now, you don't even.
Everything. That's like on South Park. They had an episode.
Never seen an episode.
Are you serious? You've never watched an episode of South Park?
Or The Sopranos.
That's okay. I've never seen.
Or The Wire.
Oh, you never?
Not an episode.
Not one episode.
I've seen one episode of Friends.
I've never watched the Friends.
Now, if you talk about Power, you got me.
I haven't seen Power.
Okay.
I watched The Wire. I watched The Wire front to back. I love The Wire. Great story.
Never seen it.
Never. I hear people talk about Power.
Sons of Anarchy? Never seen it.
Sons of Anarchy's good.
Never seen one episode.
Yeah, it's good. Well, we're going to have to link up then, because you're missing out. You're missing out on some really good shows. So, okay, so I want to kind of like close it out with this. This is the most recent thing, and this is going back to the Olympics and with basketball. Joel Embiid's comment about the team being old and LeBron James now isn't the LeBron James in his prime. And I remember when I read that, I just was like, are you stupid? Like, didn't this man just almost single-handedly save two games? Like, he had to put the team on his back, and for you to come out and say, well, you know, we got a bunch of older guys on the team. Like, what's your take on that? Because this is your job now. This is what you do for a living. I want to hear you say.
Okay. So Joel Embiid is different. Sometimes I think he worries too much about individual stuff and not team stuff, my opinion. He wanted to be an MVP winner so bad.
Yes, yes.
I mean, he politicked to be the MVP.
Yeah.
But I don't see that same politicking to get past second round of the playoffs. So I think he focuses on the wrong crap. LeBron James has been in the league forever.
Yeah.
But he understands how to play the Olympic game. Just like KD, just like the older guys that have played it. Devin Booker, the last time they were in the Olympics, did really well. Last time he played for the USA, because there's certain things that you understand. If we're really being honest, Joel Embiid should barely play in the Olympics because he does not play complimentary basketball. He plays, I'm the go-to guy basketball. So if you look at
star on a team full of stars.
So if you take KD, right? KD was in OKC, did great. Dropped him in with the Warriors. He did fine. They didn't have to change the offense. Dropped him in Brooklyn. Didn't have to change the offense. He did fine. Dropped him in Phoenix. He does fine. He's a complimentary player. You know, LeBron is different because that's just LeBron. You know, LeBron has his coach. I mean, not his coach. He has AD there. Balls in his hand a lot. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He's LeBron. But there are guys that are being asked to do things that they don't do. So Joel Embiid may be asked, hey, you may get 2 shots. You may have to just set picks and rebound. Joel Embiid doesn't want to just set picks and rebound. That isn't a complimentary part of his game that he can just be that dude. I've often thought for the Olympic team, for every LeBron, KD book, you needed a Derek White, Draymond Green.
We don't need Draymond Green.
Well, no, but I mean, but
I get what you're saying. I'm just not a fan.
You need someone who is a role player who understands what winning basketball is, because when you compile a bunch of stars, you're actually asking a star to not be a star. You're asking them to be a role player. Imagine if you played in the NFL and you had, like, say you played with a good quarterback, right? And
what was that look for? You got to explain yourself. I saw that dirty look. What was that about?
So you played with a good quarterback, like Aaron Rodgers, right? And you asked him just to be.
You know you got to explain, because that's an inside joke. So,
but you asked him never to go over the top. You only asked him to check down. You're not using his talent. But maybe for what your team needs, that's all you need.
Right.
So when you get to the Olympics, I don't need you to do all the things you do well. I need you to narrow that down. And I don't think Joel does a good job of narrowing that down. So to me, he's the wrong person to say anything. You know, I would almost personally, and I know the NBA would never allow it, and as an owner, I would never allow my team to do it, but I would almost rather take a team to the Olympics than a group of people. NBA would never allow it. I got it. But I think they star hunt so much. You've watched some of the tune-up games. Where's Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
He's a top 5 player, top 10 player in the league. He's not even there. Yeah. Then you have a guy like, then they say stupid crap like Kawhi can't play, which he never should have been there anyway. That's another story. But you replace him with Derek White instead of Jaylen Brown. And your logic is, well, we need a role player. Well, a role player didn't get hurt. A star got hurt. So you, instead of replacing him with a star player who understands how to play a role, fine, you go out and get a role player, whatever. But now you have all these other stars. You asking Steph to stand in a corner and catch the ball and just shoot. When have you ever seen Steph just stand in a corner?
No, he's moving.
He's moving consistently. So wrong messenger, wrong message.
Yeah.
If anything, he lobbied to get on this team because technically he should be playing for a different country.
Yeah.
So he lobbied. He did. I mean, he's a citizen. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no.
But he lobbied to get on the team, and then to say anything, dude, shut up. Go set a pick. The starter should be Anthony Davis. It should be Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo because they understand international basketball. Yeah. Joel is one, he's dirty, and then two,
yes, he is.
He's
yes,
a
if that
dirty
was
ball
Draymond
player.
Green, they'd be ready to crucify him. He's
dirty
so
ball player.
dirty.
And so, no, I don't like that at all. The U.S. is going to win the gold.
Yeah.
Too much has been made of these practice games. Yeah. You're asking dudes that to go out and have the same level of fire for a game that means nothing, in all honesty.
Yeah.
When I don't really care if they turn it on against some of these teams right now. Yeah. Turn it on when it counts. Yeah. Because what they showed you was against some of the other teams, we could really just play around.
Yeah, and then we'll turn. All right, let's tighten up.
It's time to go. Let's tune it up.
But as a fan, you're watching. I mean, and we know that you covered it. I've played. You know, you can. Okay, all right, we're here. All right, let's turn it on. As a fan, I would like to see a certain level throughout the entire game. I don't need to see you playing at 100% max effort, but 75% will make me comfortable as a fan. And I'm not worried about you guys losing and then you win by 1 point. I mean, that's the difference in a rebound or a tip in or something like that. That's too close.
As a fan, yes. But the game meant nothing. It was a tune-up. It was a friendly.
Yeah.
And again, these aren't college kids. If I'm a GM, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, Steve, don't play him more than 13 minutes in this tune-up game. Hey, Steve, don't play him more. Look. He talked about his hamstring was a little tight. Don't play him more than 6 minutes this game. Don't play him. I mean, so you got to remember, Steve Kerr is under a different set of rules than if he's playing and coaching his own team. So I don't want, if I'm the GM, and I know I've said that a bunch of times, I don't want LeBron playing 20 minutes a night for the Olympics. No, if you go back to the original Dream Team. Mm-hmm. Mike played what? Maybe 18 minutes.
I don't
maybe remember, 20 minutes. Scottie Pippen maybe Charles played maybe 20. Magic didn't play. Bird didn't barely play because he had back issues. Yeah. And they told Leitner, go get our bags. You're not getting in the game. So it was different then. Yeah. And the competition was different then. Yeah. But as a fan, I get it. But I hate whenever I turn the channel and it says friendly, I keep turning because
it's no real competition. It's just
preseason
messing around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guarantee you when they play South Sudan, the second time, because they're in the same pool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a blowout.
It won't be 1 point.
No.
It won't even be close.
No, it won't be.
Because now they're actually playing.
Yeah. It means
for something.
Yeah.
When they played, I forget which team it was, but where Jokic played.
Yeah.
They wanted to send a message to Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
They beat him by like 35.
Yeah.
When they played South Sudan, it was like, dude, we're favored by what? 43? Oh, that means we should kill them. Yeah. And it's like playing with your little brother a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like you playing basketball to 15.
21, yeah, 21.
And you look up and he got 12. You're like, oh crap.
Oh, I got to turn it on.
Let me turn this for you. So basically on the guy's side, I think that's right. And then the women, Man, the women may not win a game by less than 15 points.
Really?
Don't get lulled to sleep by that All-Star game.
No. I didn't. I didn't. Like, I watched it. It was fun. It was entertaining. But it's the same level, the same meaning that it had for the WNBA All-Stars. It wasn't that same level for the ladies that were going to the Olympics.
No.
You don't think so?
No, they wanted to beat them.
They did.
They wanted to beat them. They did.
So they lost.
They lost.
And they went out. So you feel like the USA Women's Olympic team went out there and really competed and tried to.
Breanna Stewart has never. If you play Breanna Stewart in a game of checkers, she's trying to kill you. So I'm being serious.
Yeah, no, I know you know.
Yeah,
so that's why
Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi gets out of her car talking trash. I'm dead serious. She does not want to lose.
Yeah.
And you don't last 20 years in the WNBA
That's
except in any losses.
Yeah.
The problem is they wanted to win. These other ladies wanted to show you I should have been on this team. See, they weren't playing. They're not. These other ladies. That's not Australia. That's not Canada.
Yeah.
You know, that's not England.
Yeah.
They're peers.
Yeah.
So they're teammates battling each other, and some of the teammates are just as good as the people that got on the team.
On the USA team.
On the USA team. Last time they played each other was 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. They lost.
Who was that?
The Olympic team.
Oh, really?
Lost.
So 2 years? Oh, we're not 2
4
years, but 2 chances.
Yep. They lost to the WNBA All-Stars. Then they promptly went over and kicked everybody's butt.
Yeah.
Because their dominance is, believe me when I say this, USA ladies basketball is not only superior to the rest of the world, it will be superior for the next few years.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got Caitlin Clark that'll be on the next one. Mm-hmm. You got Paige Beckers that'll be on the next one. You got Juju Watson.
I love Juju. That's my girl.
They are the USA women's basketball is only getting better. Yeah. It's not getting worse. It's not evening.
No. And they got that big new contract.
Dude.
So, yeah.
Let me tell you. Look, if you don't watch anything else, watch them.
Really?
What?
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna videotape myself right in front of the TV.
15. I'll tell you what. I will. PLR on Sports is my ex. I will take any challengers for a cigar that they will not lose or will not win any game by less than 15 points.
All right. Well, you heard him. He said he's taking up all bets.
Yep. And I'm talking affordable cigars. Don't
have to be 20. They're going to get you $20, $30.
Yeah,
we got a price range. It's like $10, no more than $10.
Yeah, you get a $30 cigar, I'm chopping it like in 5 spots.
All right, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Always good having you on.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Route. Don't forget to subscribe and connect with us on socials for exclusive updates.